There we go.
Hello, everybody. We are officially live.
Hey, everyone. This is me.
I'll remove this for the moment. Welcome, everybody. Come on in. Sorry, people
Welcome, everybody.
Well, no, it's okay. I do the same thing. I get it on my other devices and, so I can do the shares and all that stuff. So I totally understand. We are here again with the lovely Miss Madelyn Jones. And let me see. I don't think I put your information up last time. There it is. I was going to say, I know I forgot to click your name one of those weeks. Thank you, everybody, for joining. We actually on Ruth 3. So we're moving right on along through the book of Ruth this month. I hope you guys have been reading because there will be 2 more quizzes, one today and one next week. So I'll give you guys a couple more minutes and we were going to get started. We are a little delayed today on this evening, starting at 8:15, well, more like 8:20. But come right on in. We're going to keep doing what we do as we do each week. So share, like, subscribe, post on different pages so that others can join on in. We had an amazing time last Saturday with Miss Madelyn and her husband, Jared, for Father's Day. I tell you, that had me laughing so hard. I'm so grateful that you were able to come with us, with your husband, and just kind of chat a little bit about, Father's Day, what he's got going on, and just sharing your story. So I'm grateful for you and him. So, all right. So we got some people jumping on in. I know Madelyn is sharing it on her pages as well. So we'll give you guys a little bit of time to get acclimated because once we start that trivia, it's on. And what we're going to do actually this week, Madelyn, I'm going to hide our screen because I was told that when the trivia questions come on, it's hard for people to read. Okay. So I will hide our screen so that they can see it more clearly. But I'll give you guys about 4 more minutes to come on in. It's be 8:30 and we can start right away. So when you come on in, please type your name. Hello, Shania. Hello, my mother is on. I know she's going to try to win this week.
Good evening, everyone.
Yes, good evening. Just tell us how you're doing. It seems like this Thursday has been a very interesting Thursday for many of us. Most of us have a lot going on. So just let's do a little check-in before we get started. How's everybody doing? Is it a busy week for many? I cannot believe it's almost Friday, almost July. I mean, June is just kind of flown by, it seems like to me. But let's do a check-in and see how everybody is up, what everybody's up to and how everyone's doing. All right, let me go to the comments here. Hello, Sister Cheryl. Oh, that's your mom.
Hey, Mommy.
Hey. And Sharice. Let's see. Make sure I don't miss anybody. We have some family on YouTube as well. All right. Hey, Ashley. Good to see you. See, y'all are the early birds. Y'all gonna be right on time for our trivia. So we don't have as many questions as we did last week because Ruth 3, I feel like, was a little harder to pull some questions.
Yes, it was. We had a little difficulty, but we made it through pretty good.
Yeah. Cherie Middleton, hello. I am so excited. We got almost 10 people in here already. All right, I feel like we have a sizable crew to get started. But I'll be a woman of my word and wait till 8:30. Because it's only 4 or 5 questions this week. So if you miss one, you automatically, I think, are second place or third. Oh, your husband's in here. Hey, Jared. Don't tell me he's going, how do you say, photobomb? He's not going to jump in with the ladies today.
Let's see. He's getting ready for work, so maybe not. Maybe not.
No acting up, Jared.
Maybe not.
Thank you, Sister Madelyn. She said, Maddie J, she said, like, share, and tag 5 friends into this conversation. Yes, we want to promote Miss Madelyn as much as we can. She is our wonderful author and visionary with us this week, and the owner of Behind, can I say it?
You can say it. You can say it.
Behind Our Eyes Mentorship. Woo!
You can say
I'm
it.
so
It's safe to say
excited.
it.
When you sent me that text this week, I was ecstatic. You guys don't understand. Now my mom is on YouTube. Okay. She's on both platforms. But when you sent me this text this week, Maddie, I was floored. For you guys that don't know, last week we were talking about her story with Madelyn and her husband Jared, and they were talking about Behind Her Eyes mentorship, mentoring, and Behind His Eyes. And I think Jared actually said,
"It was you." I went back and watched it. It was you. Yes.
I said it.
Yes, you said, as we were talking, you do it so calm. As we were talking, I just keep hearing in my spirit, Behind Our Eyes Mentoring.
Oh, I said that.
You
my
did.
goodness. I was giving the credit to Jared. I feel like he said it.
Nope, you guys go back and watch it. You said it.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. And we disagreed. We disagreed.
God is amazing. Look, when I opened my eyes and saw that text, Miss Maddie, y'all, I'm telling you, she's not playing. From last Saturday to a few days later, and it's already signed up and registered Behind Our Eyes Mentorship, a beautiful platform for both her and her husband to mentor young ladies and men. I am excited, especially because tonight's focus is Mentorship Matters, as we delve into Ruth 3 and continue to explore the dynamic between Ruth and Naomi. So it is 8:30. So we are going to start the trivia. If you guys are ready. All right, so let me see. I'm going to keep our audio on, Maddie, but I will put, let me see, the trivia. Oopsies. See, I'm doing stuff and clicking stuff. Y'all know how I do. All right. Let me actually take this off the screen. I'm going to put this on the screen. Okay. And I'm going to try to, there we go. All right. So you guys should be able to see the screen fully, and you should not be able to see myself or Maddie, but you can hear us speaking. Can you hear me, Maddie?
I can.
Okay. Awesome. Awesome. So we are going to get started. Let me hit the start button. All right. All right. Okay. I was like, where is the little ticker? Okay. All right. So we have 6 people in. We had 10 at first. Maybe it's jumping around because people are shifting platforms. Okay. Hello, Sister Jackie. Good to see you. Oh, we have a nice crew tonight. Sister Jackie taught women's Bible study, so I know she's going to be on target with this one. All right. That 30 seconds went so fast. All right. Question number 1.
You want me to start?
Oh, sure.
Sure. Let's see. Did Naomi give Ruth advice? Number 1, Naomi told Ruth to pray about it. Number 2, Orpah gave her advice. Number 3, yes, she told her how to approach Boaz. Number 4, no, they didn't communicate with each other at all. Go ahead and put your numbers in the comments. Let's see who knows the word. Let's
see. You got 8 seconds left. Keep in mind that if your comment goes up late, then it may register for the next question. Oh, Sister Jackie, please don't type. I know you're driving. Please don't do it. I don't want you to get into an accident. But I trust that you know the right answer. All right. We got somebody saying 3. All right. Miss Gina Smith, my mother, she posted 3. Let's see if she is correct. All right. She is correct. You were the only one that got this question correct. All right. So that means you probably by default will be in the lead unless you missed another question. Ashley said 3 as well. Oh, let's see. Hopefully it registered for this one. Actually, it may go to the next question by because it wasn't in by certain time, but I'm not sure. Okay, question number 2.
Number 2. Did Boaz expect to act as kinsman redeemer for Ruth? Number 1, no, he wasn't attracted to her. Number 2, he was much older and it was her choice to claim him. Number 3, yes, he had been praying for her all his life. Number 4, yes, God told him about her in a dream.
All right. So what do you guys think? Did he expect to act as her kinsman redeemer? This was actually, I found that it was a little hard to decipher, depending on the version. When you read Ruth 3, some of the words were kind of like, hard to figure out, but when you read different translations, it makes it a little easier to understand. We pretty much know the story, but I feel like when we look into those details of the story as you're reading, it's like, well, wait a minute, what's he really saying? Because of the language barrier. So we have some answers coming in. Oh, wow. Everybody chose number 4. I really tricked y'all with that one. The answer is number 3. Or number 2, he was much older and it was her choice. So one of the things that he said was, hey, I got somebody else in my family. So allow him to release you first, and then I will come in and marry, because he was much older than her. So he didn't feel like he was fit. So let's do the third and final question for tonight.
All right. How did Boaz feel about marrying Ruth? Number 1, he wasn't interested in her. Number 2, he was instantly attracted to her beauty. Number 3, he told Ruth about the other younger, more qualifying kinsman redeemer. And number 4, he didn't think she could have children.
I kind of gave that one away. I said a little too much on question number 2.
You did, but you got to make sure they caught it, because maybe it was a lag and they didn't catch it. It might have been a lag there.
Yeah. Let's hope you guys caught it from reading it and not from what I just said. I trust that you guys will be honest. All right. Question number 3. I didn't see any. Oh, here the answer's coming up. All right. Cherie Middleton said 3. Now let's see what the correct answer is. She got it correct. All right. I wonder how these scores are going to populate tonight. All right. Let's see. I know we had maybe a tie, actually, because I know 2 people got 2 answers right. All right, let's see what the results are. Oh, we have So Gina Smith is number 1. Cherie Middleton is number 2. Wow. So my mother won this evening, and I guess Cherie is in second place. Congratulations, ladies.
Congratulations.
I think it may also go by time as well, like how fast you respond. But you both had 1 answer correct. So congratulations. So my mother, you will get a gift card, and I'll probably send yours to Cold Stone, something different. Since we did Starbucks, you will be able to claim your prize. Or I may do Target for you. All right. So let me remove this. And we can jump right into our conversation for this evening. All right, my computer is not, okay, there it is. Okay, I should have stopped. All right, okay, there we go. So tonight, everybody, as you all know, we have read Ruth 3, or we should have read Ruth 3 this week. And just to kind of give a brief recap from last week, we met with Madelyn and her husband, Jared, and talked about sharing your story. And so in Ruth 2, we spoke about how your story, when it precedes you, how it could really be a blessing, because Boaz heard about Ruth.
Yeah.
He heard about her. So now in Ruth 3, as we continue throughout the journey, in the very beginning, I was actually really intrigued by the fact that Naomi gave wise counsel to Ruth. She gave wise counsel. She said, this is what you do. When you go to connect with him, when you go to see him, this is how you carry yourself. And so she followed that instruction. And so immediately it made me think of mentorship. It made me think of how when a seasoned woman or a wise woman, or a wise individual rather, is able to assist you and to help you as a younger woman. And I know sometimes people may think like, well, I'm old enough. I don't need a mentor. I know people that are 60 and 70 years old that have mentors. It doesn't always have to do with age. It has to do with experience, wisdom. I know some mentors who are actually younger than the people that they are mentoring. Because spiritually, they may be, one may have more, as far as a spiritual leadership role over others. Think about it. Your pastor may be 40 years old. You may be 60. he may be your spiritual leader. So it doesn't always have to do with age. But I wanted to share with everybody that Madelyn has her mentorship called Behind Our Eyes Mentorship with her husband, where they service both young girls and young boys, which is the newer aspect of their mentorship program. And I wanted to talk about Mentorship Matters. Mentorship Matters. So, Sister Maddie, what I know the traditional role or traditional definition of mentorship we see throughout the Bible is kind of like with Jesus and his disciples,
Right.
and then, Paul and Timothy, and you see that. But how does mentorship look for you? What can you tell us about how your program works, or how you work with the young girls and the mothers to have such a successful mentorship program?
Sure. So ours is based upon example. I think that is the overall picture of it, is example. We live an honest Christian life, which is what we should be living in front of our girls. We teach them guidance. We guide them. We give them, wisdom and knowledge. We give them support. We also help them strategize direction. I can't tell you which way that you're to go, but I can strategize with you to give you the steps to get there. And I think it matters so much because even for myself, I have a mentor. I had someone that, and I have someone that guides me, that when I maybe have an idea that I can't really understand or can't really put together in words or articulate, I'm able to go to my mentor and say, hey, this came upon me, and what am I supposed to do with this? And they help me. They set goals and say, okay, well, you got this idea, set some goals. One of the greatest things was my goal setting. And I was like, okay, I don't like this goal setting. I need a timeline. I need you to tell me, I'm in school, it's due on Friday at 5 o'clock. Because when I have a timestamp, for me, that works better, because it puts something under me that it's not only a goal, it's something that I've got to achieve. Last year, my mentor actually did a 30-day accountability challenge.
I love it.
I signed up for it and I was ready, right? But when I got into it, she was not playing. She was like, oh, so business need to be registered. I need to see your welcome packet. And I was just like, whoa, wait. It was just a dream. It was all a dream. My biggie voice or whatever. But the truth was that she was like, no, I'm looking for my mentees to be those who are accountable to not only me, but to yourself and God first. Because that's really what it's about, is accountability. Mentorship is about accountability. Can I hold you accountable to the things that you desire? Can I hold you accountable to the things that you want to see or you want to achieve? And that was hard, because at that point, I had never realized how much I was accountable to other people and not myself. So here I am teaching my mentees about accountability, the importance of being accountable and present and showing up. So these are even things that in my method of mentoring at their young age, I'm teaching them so that in their adulthood, they won't have to go and learn these lessons. And, I'm going to give you this is a funny one from tonight. So one of my girls said, Miss Maddie, what is your big thing about us wearing bonnets when we show up on a Zoom call?
Oh, man. Yeah.
So I had to explain to them, what if you get on that Zoom call with me and I have the president of National Honor Society waiting to talk to you because I've gotten a resource, and you show up on my call with a bonnet on? Are they even looking to hear what you have to say, or have they been distracted by your appearance and how you showed up? Miss Mary, I ain't never think of it like that. I said, I'm sure, but that's why I'm here to guide you, because how you show up and how you present yourself is what can deter somebody from saying, I've been looking for you. I've got a job for you. I've got a scholarship for you. And so mentorship is beyond even just the guidance, but teaching somebody how to show up. We might know how to show up, on Sunday morning. We put on our good, good garments, good hair, good makeup, and good outfit. But what about when we got to show up to our daily life? Are we giving the same, all that same positiveness? Are you giving the same optimism to life? Because life has challenges. So I'm even teaching our young people how to overcome the challenge, to see the distraction, acknowledge it, and keep moving. So that's my mechanism. We mentor from example, from experience. We're always honest and transparent. We don't sugarcoat with our children. We make sure they understand
Yeah.
that we, even the team members, have not always been saved. And some of us
Absolutely.
we were born into church, but we weren't saved. Our parents might have been saved. So we
Right.
had to experience some things, and we don't want you to experience them. That's why we're sharing them with you, so that you don't have to learn that lesson. There are some lessons that you have to learn no matter what we teach, but there are some lessons that we can actually
You can avoid.
that you can avoid if we.
Mhm.
And I think that that is one thing that makes our program different from others, is that my team is built on honesty. We build a foundation of, if you can't be transparent with these young people, we don't need that kind of thing, because they have enough. They see, matter of fact, they're very intelligent. They know more than we could even begin to describe. So just be honest with them. They want to know that they can relate to somebody. Be relatable. Mentorship is about being relatable. It's about being, upfront. So.
And I want to put your website on here, bhementoring.com, right?
Correct.
I believe.
Correct.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Correct.
I'm going to put this at the bottom. If you guys are wondering, like, what is this scrolling at the bottom? This is Maddie's website, to BHE Mentoring, which stands for Behind Her Eyes Mentoring. But I really wanted to piggyback on what you shared, because it's so, so, so true. And like you said, when it comes to certain things that they haven't experienced or even thought of because of their age, they sometimes a lot of kids think of right here, right now.
And that's it.
And
That's
it's
it.
short-term memory. It's just
That's
like,
it.
I'm not thinking, okay, well, I'm not thinking 5 years from now, 10 years from now. I think back to something my younger cousin said. She's now a mother, but one thing she told me, I said, she'll kill me if she's listening to this, so I won't say her name. But I said, what do you want to be when you grow up? She says, oh, I'm just going to be famous like Serena and play tennis. And I said, okay. So what if that doesn't work out? What you going to go to college? And she's like, nope, I'm just going to play tennis. That's it. And I'll be a millionaire. That's easy.
Yeah.
And so now, and this is when she was maybe 14, 15.
Mm-hmm.
And now that I think she's 24, maybe 10 years later, it's a little different. You can't just say, yeah, I'm just going to do this and that's going to be that. Because right then and there, she's thinking, I like tennis, it's fun, and I'm just going to be a millionaire. What kind of doesn't really happen that way.
Yes.
Yes. And so like my mother said, I'm going to put on the screen, she said, first impression is very important.
And that's exactly, it's so funny that your mom said it, because literally tonight I said to them, your first impression is your most lasting impression. Wow. You may think that it's okay to go outside and meet your boyfriend outside at the curb with your pajamas on, but what about when his mother sees you? She's never going to forget that you showed up at her home in pajama pants. Present yourself the way that you want them to always remember you. Be well groomed. Show up with your clothes ironed. Make sure they don't have stains. Make sure that you look the part. Even if you don't feel the part, you look the part. I even told them something. I said, even on my worst day, I get up and I show up. If that means I got to put on a different piece of hair, I got to beat my face and put on my good blazer, I do that, because when you look good, you feel good and you produce. And you produce. It makes you produce even when you don't feel like it. So I'm expressing to them the importance of dealing with things. Today, I think I shared with you, I said, oh my goodness, I'm dealing with something. Somebody very close to me is, and it's hard on me. But when I got in front of my girls, they couldn't tell, because Miss Maddie showed up for them. Because what I'm teaching them is that when life happens, you still have to press through and be present, and you have to show up. Matter of fact, I had a t-shirt made at the beginning of this year, the oil of the show up.
Ooh.
I had just gone through my surgery, and I still showed up for my girls, laying on my bed. They didn't know. I was under my blanket. I was sitting up, made myself look good from here down. But it was the oil of the show up. There was a blessing when I showed up, because I showed up. And when I showed up with the mindset of pressing through. I used to hear older people say, I'm just pressing. And I didn't really understand what that meant until I had to press. Because many times situations come and we have to press through. We've got to push through. We got to push beyond the emotions, push beyond, whatever is at hand. And it's important that we value those moments, to value ourselves enough to know, if I press through, what's on the other side of my pressing?
It's on the other side.
Because there's something greater on the other side of your pressing. And a lot of times as a mentor, we pour a lot. We pour constantly. There's no ending. We pour a lot. We pour, whether it be to our mentees, whether we pour in, to our family, serving in ministry. All of that is a pour. But sometimes as a mentor, we don't get poured back into. And so we have to take a moment. Today, I took a moment to breathe. That's my statement. So I even posted, like, I'm taking a moment to breathe. And what did that mean to me? I turned my phone on Do Not Disturb for about 15 minutes. It wasn't a long time. It wasn't any long day. But I just took a moment and I sat and I said, took a few. And somebody's like, why would you do that?
That's good though.
I needed to breathe. I needed to take a moment because as I'm pouring out, I had to get refilled because I cannot pour empty. I can't. I just can't. And as a mentor, we're pulled on a lot. And I was reading a post earlier, and somebody said there's no more time for wasting of oil of the mentor. And I was just like, if they only knew. I give so much credit to my mentor who beyond themselves was selfless enough to say, I see what's in you. It's got to come out.
It's got to come out. Wow.
And what war with me when I would say, well, I just don't, maybe tomorrow would come before I would even wake up. There'll be a text that said, you said tomorrow. So now that tomorrow's here, I want to see what you produce. And I'm like, I did say tomorrow, but I wasn't thinking you want to take me literally and say tomorrow.
Yeah, right.
But the truth of it is if my mentor wasn't the mentor that she is, what I've accomplished, knowing that I had somebody say, hey, I'm pushing you. I keep going. I'm challenging you. I'm challenging you beyond what you think that you can do. I'm challenging you beyond what you see, because a lot of times as a mentee, we only see the surface of it. You don't see beyond, that surface. And as a mentor, it is our goal to teach you to see beyond that moment. What's going to happen, like you said, after this temporary moment with our young people? They see the temporary situation, nothing beyond it. I asked one person, well, what do you want to do when you grow up? Well, Miss Maddie, I'm only in middle school.
It's never too late to start.
I said, no, this is the most pivotal time of your life to begin making decisions. What high school do you want to attend? Do you want to go to a college preparatory high school? Do you want to go to a trade school? Do you want to go to an all-girls school? Do you want to go to a private school? These are things. What sports do you want to play? What clubs do you want to be in? Because guess what? When you apply for college, they're looking at that. Well, my GPA, I got high school to get it up. No, work on your GPA now, because they're going to watch it not just from those 4 years of high school. Absolutely. They're watching it from your whole school education, your whole tenure of academics. What are you doing? They want to see why you missed 29 million days of hooking class. They want to understand.
They want to know your character, because when it comes down to you and that other student that's got a 4.0, that has a great GPA, that has a wonderful sports in the championships, and they say, okay, well, let me go back to elementary school. Oh, you had perfect attendance in elementary school. Oh, you had perfect attendance in middle school. Oh, your teacher spoke very highly of you in middle school. Okay, but the other person, they were absent 50% of the days, had horrible behavior. Yes, they may have improved themselves over time, but they're probably going to take the person that had a better record prior to. So it's kind of like we have to, and it doesn't mean that if you messed up that there's not redemption and hope for you. It just means that the sooner you are aware of those things, you can begin to fix those things.
And that's it.
Accordingly.
And that's it. And I mean, that's why one of our organizational goals for the remainder of this year in 2022 is increasing the amount of high school graduates, increasing the amount of college acceptances. But like I told parents, I don't want them just to get accepted into college. I want them to complete college and get a degree. Many of our children have never seen a family member graduate from college.
Wow.
Their parents are not college graduates. And I'm not saying that their parents are not successful and doing well, because some people really are doing well, and college is not for everyone. But the truth of the matter is, when you have children that have the know-how and really could succeed, push them to succeed. Let them have that experience. Get them out this city. Get them out of this country. Let them experience some of the greater and finer things that the world has to offer. Absolutely. The worst thing in the world I've heard, Miss Maddie, I don't want to travel nowhere unless they have chicken boxes.
Oh.
That's as far as you can see yourself.
It's so limiting,
Like that's as far as you see yourself. I said, well, what about traveling to see some clear blue water? I'm not getting on an airplane. They crash.
And so do cars.
People fly every day. You could get in a car accident.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't want to see that. No, I don't want to go over there, because over there they like the thought process that they have about other cultures is so it's crazy. I don't even know the word
Yeah.
to say, but it's so crazy to me. And I'm like, let me tell you something. If I had a buddy pass right now, I'd be on every plane possible, visiting every country. I got a passport sitting, and I'm like, Lord, where am I going?
Yeah.
I need to get it. I have it sitting. You told me to get it. Now I need to travel. And I'm like, you guys got to see beyond the city. There's so many great things out here for you. Travel, get to see the world, get to know other cultures, learn a secondary language.
Oh, absolutely. That's
Like,
actually a great idea. Just
like
learning another language.
like for instance, I'm getting them to learn sign language.
Yeah.
And somebody said, well, Miss Madelyn, I'm a parent. Can I learn sign language? Yes.
Absolutely.
Because you never know when you may have to be in a situation where you have to talk to someone that may not speak. How are you going to talk to that person? Learn these things. Let these kids learn Spanish. That's now like a second language. It's like the very second language. For some people, is first language, and that's all they know, because we do have people that come in from other cultures that don't learn the English language. Learn another language so you can talk to people. If you get on a phone call, you get in a situation, you need your car fixed, or whatever the case may be.
That's right.
Learn how to communicate.
That's it.
Learn how to communicate. Learn how to see beyond what is in front of you. And yes, maybe your mother never traveled. Maybe your father never traveled, but that doesn't have to be you. You be that person that says, you know what, I'm going to break this in my family. I'm going to travel the world. I'm going to see other things. Go abroad. Study abroad. And I think that a lot of our young people are so limited by not only not seeing maybe family members do it, but they don't believe in themselves. They don't believe that they have what it takes to live this, to have these nice things.
Because it's different. And a lot of times when things are different and that you can't quantify or contain, or if it's not tangible and you can't really control it, sometimes it's scaring to people because they're like, how do I embrace something that I don't quite know how to connect with? Yes. How do I embrace something that's foreign to me? And it takes that mentor to say, listen, I know you may not be well versed in this, but let me tell you, this is one of the best things you can do. And like you said, travel. Traveling alone is mentorship right there. Because you'll start to see things. I mean, you could be any age and travel. Well, of course, not an infant, but by yourself. But when you become of age and responsible with a parent, with a group, I remember traveling in middle school, and I know now that I think back, I'm sure it was probably terrifying for my family at that time. But I was with the school, and I think it was the 90s, so it was a little different. Was it the 90s? Yeah, I think it was the 90s, early 90s. So, it was a little different back then, and so I learned so much that it's really hard to even try to articulate sometimes, just even from how they eat, the way they eat, the way they interact with their parents, just learning. And I really feel like culture
just learn
is the best mentor.
It's really important to me as a mentor, because I was telling the girls, I said, I want to be able to, send you guys to Africa on a, what do they call them?
Like those study abroad type.
It's not even a study abroad. It's when they go and they help. It's a word.
Oh, missionaries?
Yes, like a missionary. Like, I want to be able to sponsor you all doing missionary assignments and things like that, because I really believe that these things will show you that, first of all, it teaches you how to serve. Secondly, it shows you a different culture. Mentorship is about servitude. I'm serving you. I'm not just, talking to you and guiding you. I'm serving you. I'm serving a purpose in your life to help better you. I tell my girls all the time, each of you are in competition with no one but yourself. And that's the best version of yourself. You're not competing with your fellow sisters. You're not competing with me. You are competing to become the best version of yourself. And one girl said, well, I like me the way I am. I'm comfortable here because this person I know. I said, but what if you stretched that and you became who you really are purposed to become? She said, well, what if I don't know my purpose? I said, that's when we come and we pray about it. We figure it out. Like, what are you purposed to do? There is something greater than you, and all of us, man, woman, boy, child, whatever, we're all purposed to do something greater in this life. And as your mentor, I'm here to help you, discover your purpose. What is your passion? What are you passionate about? Again, everybody doesn't go to college, but some people are millionaires off of their passion.
Yes. And yeah. That's good.
Their passion has made them a millionaire. But, it doesn't take much. For me, I love what I do. I'm most fulfilled when I talk to my girls. If anybody asks me anything, Nicole, you know, if you talk to me, I'm always saying something about BHG. Like these are my babies. These are my children outside of my children. And everything about them for me is helping them to see how amazing they are. Tonight in one of our sessions, Holy Spirit gave me some affirmations to share with them. And one of the little girls texted me up there. She said, nobody has ever told me what you said tonight. And I said, well, it wasn't me. That was Holy Spirit that guided me. She said, well, did you write it down? I said, I didn't. I said, but I can kind of give you something I said, but now I don't even know what I said because I just said it, you know.
So it just flows through. Right.
Did you say that I love me? I said, yes. I want y'all to tell yourselves, I love me, because you should love you. Because if you don't love you, no one else in this world is going to be able to embrace who you are and who you're becoming. You got to love you first. It's just a reality. And you got to love your authentic self. Who are you? Who am I? Tell me who I am. I have them do this thing, especially when I first meet them. Look, go find me a mirror. You got a mirror in your room? They're like, yes.
Oh, I love that. Yeah.
Tell me what do you see? And one girl said, I said, well, you looking in the mirror. I'm not. What do you see? She said, a girl. I said, was she beautiful? My parents are obligated to tell me that. I said, she's smart? I mean, I do okay. I said, but what do you see? She couldn't tell me. So I said, what is it in the mirror that you don't like? Oh, she told me everything. And there's so many of them. And so here we are as mentors building. And I'm like, you know, as I'm building you, I want you to take a hold of it and I want you to believe. Because I'm going to build, but once I build, you got to believe it. And it's not for me to believe because I see what's in you, but you got to see what I see. And more importantly, you got to see what he sees because his eyes and his vision and his lens are so far wider and greater than mine. He doesn't wear any prescription, but I do. You know, so it's really important that these girls know that and these young men that we're about to serve know that even for them. Self-imagery. What do you see, young man, when you see yourself? Do you see your father's mistakes? Do you see your mother's mistakes? Or do you see that God has created you as a king? Do you see that you are created in his image? Do you see that you have his DNA? Do you see that you are a royal priesthood? Like, I want these young men to really do some self-evaluation because just like the girls need it, so do our young boys. Take a look in this mirror and what is reflecting when you get to that mirror. If you are seeing your parents, that is not your weight to carry. You are not your parents' mistakes. You're not. Young lady, you're not your mother's mistakes. Yes, she made them. That doesn't mean that you're going to make the same ones. I have young ladies that say, well, my mother said she was a teenage mom. I'm going to be a teenage mom. No, you're not. So you have to speak over yourself because your seeds are what are going to manifest. Those seeds are being planted. But guess what? You speak and you sow the seeds over your life of what you desire. I am not a teenage mom. I am successful. I'm an academic scholar. I am beautiful. I have scholarships with my name waiting for me. Those are the type of things that I'm trying to teach them and instill in them so that they can better themselves. And it's really difficult at sometimes, but you know, we keep pressing. We keep pressing. We keep pouring. We keep pushing. Some are resistant. Even with being a mentor, you will find people that are resistant. And so this year, I think, Nicole, you kind of know I kind of had to put some firmness in it because Miss Maddie loves everybody. But I have to say, in order to benefit from this program, you got to be open.
You have to.
Mentor-mentee relationships require openness.
You have to.
And it requires vulnerability and humility. If we can't get those foundational things in present, we can't function as mentor-mentee. So now I'm going to ask you and your parent, are you ready for the challenge? Are you up for what it takes for me to mentor your child or for one of my teammates to mentor your child? Because if you can't be open, they can't be open, there's no benefit.
Yeah. It requires, it's a two-way street. Yes. And I know in generally, when you think of mentorship, like with Naomi and Ruth, you think of Naomi, mentor, Ruth, mentee. You just think of it like a one-way thing, like, okay, she's helping her and is benefiting the other. But it's more than just that. The mentor and the mentee are changed because of it. You can see the direct correlation from Naomi counseling Ruth and the direct benefit. Naomi benefited from the wisdom that she poured into Ruth, and Ruth was able to bring home barley for her. And then when she married a kinsman redeemer, who do you think benefited? When she married Boaz, well, I ain't gonna get into next week's, but she was able to connect with it. I know it's so hard not to, but she was in a position where the blessing that Ruth received would now also benefit her. So now as a mentor, think about this. if you are a mentor, let's say, who helped a young child go through college, and you know those kids when they get on the stage and say, I just want to thank my, and let's say they come off to be the top
Yes.
millionaire, doctor, or whatever, you never know the child that you poured into the next one that I'm not sure what that noise was,
there you go.
but it could be that next child could be, the mentee could be the next one who saves your life. They could be that doctor that you helped who is serving you on the operating table. You never know.
You never know.
And it's not only just beneficial for you, but it's beneficial for society, because now we have younger children that are growing up with the wisdom and the experience of those who actually know what they're talking about.
Yes.
And so Sister Cherie said transparency, communication, and openness. That is
it's
key.
absolutely needed. It's the key.
I don't know why people don't like that word mentorship. They think, oh, well, I'm smart. Oh, I can do it on my own. I don't need help.
We're all smart, but mentorship for me, even for me, every mentor needs a mentor.
Absolutely.
I could not mentor effectively if I didn't have a mentor.
Absolutely.
I have someone that I go to for guidance, for strategy, for openness. I go for vulnerability, because there are moments when I'm overwhelmed, and they have to bring me back in and say, no, you're not overwhelmed. You were assigned to carry the weight, and now we got to balance this thing out. I'm like, oh, okay, because you do get a little frustrated sometimes, especially when the mentor tell you the truth. They like, well, I wanted the truth, but now I didn't want the truth. Because
they can see from a different perspective, and they know, and they've been there.
And that's the thing about it too, is we are literally as mentors giving them a different perspective.
Absolutely.
So I see it your way, and I'm hearing it, but now let me tell you the other way, or the other side of this.
The other way.
Take a moment, close your eyes, and see it if you tried it this way. And maybe my way is not the right way, but if we come together, mentee and mentor,
together,
somehow, some way, it's going to all align itself. And so that's really, really, really important. I'm led to share tonight that as a mentor for me, I am better when I hear or get texts that say, I'm alive because you listened. Or I wake up every day and take showers now because you listened. You took the time to hear me. Sometimes as a mentor, it's not about always talking. Sometimes it's about listening, because I can listen. I can go off of that call. I can pray about it. And when I come back to the table again, I'm able to give wisdom or strategy or instruction on what to do next. There's many times tonight, my girls blew me away on a call. And one of my babies said, Miss Maddie not God, but she's definitely one of his angels. And I sat there in awe, because I said, I remember when she was resistant.
Wow.
I remember when she went into my calls, I was chasing her down. I mean, hunting her down. And as tired as I was, Nicole, I would still say, Lord, I can't give up on her, because she needs consistency. And as I stay consistent, now I can't get rid of her. If I tried. I had one say yesterday, look, Miss Maddie, I don't mean no harm. You got all these girls in the group, but I just want you to myself. I'm being nice by sharing you,
Yeah.
And I'm
trust
like,
me. I've heard that comment.
Yeah, and I'm like, Lord, they have no idea the many nights that even I lay on my face for them, or the weight that I carry, because they are so heavy in their spirits at this young age. Some of the things that my girls have been through, some of us as adults have not been through.
Whew.
Some of the stuff they've been through, I'm just like, God, how did this precious baby how did they get in that situation?
Yeah.
And I'm led to encourage mothers, fathers, whoever's in these children's lives, male, female, make sure that you're listening. Make sure that you're watching. Because sometimes there are silent words being spoken that if you would just watch their body language, you don't even have to ask questions. Wow. Watch the changes in their behaviors. I'm not a therapist. I don't profess to be a therapist or a psychiatrist, but I do know God, and I do know that he speaks to me and that he does give me instruction when it comes to these young people. And I can't even tell you the sleepless nights. Well, Nicole, you probably know, because I tell you often. My husband knows. Because I'm just like, did you feel that? And he's like, what is it? I'm like, this is what it was. Now I understand why she couldn't talk to me. She doesn't know how. She's shamed because of what somebody did to her. They violated her. So she carried around shame and guilt of something that she didn't even ask for. So I am just the mentor that trusts God with every life that is connected to me. I am just the mentor that trusts him to give me the correct insight, intel, and clarity on how to mentor. I don't, I didn't go to school for it. I didn't ask for it.
That's
I didn't do any of those things, but it is
yeah,
something that I was led to do because of what God placed in me. He allowed me to go through some life situations, challenges, trying to figure out who I was, my identity. I didn't want to be the pastor like my dad. I didn't want to be the evangelist like my mom. I just wanted to be me. But I struggled so hard. And in struggling, I made some hard decisions. I dated some people that meant me no good. I put myself in situations that meant me no good. But I am here today and I'm trying to tell this generation that, you are not your mistake. You are not
your
you're not your
mistake.
mistake. We
That is,
all fail. We
ooh,
all fall. We fall 10 times over. You are not that person. And somebody said to me today, Miss Maddie, and y'all know I'm transparent. She said, "Can I ask you a question? Now you're not a teen mom." I said, "No, I'm not." She said, "How do you see me?" I said, "As a daughter of a king." She said, "But I'm a teen mom." I said, "And you're still the daughter of a king."
that's right.
So you telling me that he don't see me no different? He does not. He does not. He still loves you. You're forgiven. You need to forgive yourself because the
That's
king has
it.
already forgiven you. And so I even told him tonight in their affirmations, I am forgiven for every mistake because my mistakes don't define me. My mess ups don't define me. I am not defined by flaw.
Ooh.
Like I'm not defined by that because if I define myself by flaw, then I think that I'm greater than he is because he is the true and living God. And I can't think that I'm greater than God. So you are forgiven. You are loved. You are royalty. I think I told them tonight, I said, you are not the dynamic in which brought you into the world.
Wow. You
You're
made
not
it as a result,
you're not caught by that dynamic.
Yeah,
I
that
don't
doesn't
know how.
define you.
So one girl said, "Well, I don't really know my dad because y'all know they tell everything. I don't really know my dad because him and my mom, they weren't in a relationship. They kind of just hooked up. I don't know him, but my mother stayed telling me I'm just like him. How's she gonna tell me I'm just like him and she don't know him?" I said, "But guess what? You're not that dynamic. That does not define you. That's between her and him and whatever their overnight scenario was. That has nothing to do with you. You are greater than that because you serve an even greater God." And so tonight I had them to say, I am bigger than this because I serve a bigger God. And I had tears tonight. I had laughter tonight. I had joy tonight. But what I did have tonight more than anything was breakthrough because they finally understand that they are not identified by those things that they have failed at. They are not identified by their mistakes. They're not identified by the shame and guilt of involuntary things that have taken place and trauma in their lives. But they are identified by the DNA of a king. So they have been washed clean. They have been forgiven. That they are just so amazing. And even my book of affirmations, it was really because I wanted them to know beyond the surface of their skin that God is looking at your heart. I remember growing up, and y'all know I'm frank. I have tattoos. My parents don't have any. They holy, they sanctified, they love Jesus, right? I wasn't one to smoke and drink, but I love tattoos. Okay, and I said, so one of my babies said, "Miss Maddie, I want a tattoo." I said, "No, you don't. You want to wait." I said, "Now I can't tell you not to get one because I would be contradictory to what I have." I said, "But the reason that I did it was because I was looking for another identity to figure out who I was." I said, "Now it is artistic, it's beautiful and everything." But I said, "But when I get old, it's gonna be all, I'm trying to deter him a little bit. I don't know if it worked, but I said, I'm gonna be all wrinkled up with this stuff all over me, and looking like a newspaper, as my grandmother would say."
Oh, looking like a newspaper.
Yes,
I never heard that one.
My
That's
grandmother
funny.
would say, "Y'all out here looking like a little newspaper." But anyway, so neither of my parents have any, but my brother and I both, that was our thing. And and she said, "But Miss Maddie, you just maybe not want one, so you're gonna be wrinkled with ink." I said, "I'll be wrinkled with ink. You don't want to look like that." And she said, "Well, when you go to church, do you feel like people are looking at your skin?" I said, "I don't care about my skin. I care about my heart and my soul. And my heart and soul are totally in alignment with God. So it has nothing to do with my skin. If my skin was burnt off today, guess what? God's still looking at my heart and my soul. None of that matters." I said, "So if I keep allowing people to box me in to what I've done, I'll never be able to see what God says about me. Don't let anybody box you in when God has literally gave you the key to unlock the box, throw it away, toss the lid, whatever you need to do." We're boxed in because we limit ourselves, not because God limits us. God is limitless. He's limitless. who are you identifying yourself with, the voices of the people or the voices of God, your creator? And so that's really what Behind Her Eyes is. Yes, you have the story. Yes, it happened. That is your truth. But now, Behind Her Eyes, I literally want my people to go from behind to open. So I feel like my next logo is going to be like an opening, because I've been kind of dealing with it for a little bit. And I was like, I don't want them to stay locked in. I don't want their eyes to stay shut, but I want it to be like an awakening.
An awakening. I love that.
Yeah, it's something that I've been toiling with. Yeah, I've
like
been toiling with that,
awaken
like
to
an
your
awakening.
identity.
Yeah, so that's kind of
Like
where
that.
I am. And you know, Derek cut me
I
off tonight. But he's tickled because he was like, I gotta go to work. He was like, when we doing it again? I said, I don't know, but I don't know if I want you on, because we laugh too much when you take me serious.
I would love to have you with Jared back on again. You know
crazy.
that.
He is crazy.
You know that. I'm glad he was blessed by that. I had so much fun.
He was. We literally. I have to send you a picture of my my whiteboard, because I had to go back and rewrite some stuff after we hung up.
Goodness.
Yeah,
wow.
It was good. It was really good.
We all of us that were on last week, we just want to know one thing. For all y'all that was on last week, I know y'all gonna be in agreement with me.
What's that?
Their bow tie and them jeans.
So did you see the picture?
No, that's what I'm waiting on.
He rocked it. He put on his fedora. He put on his vest. Oh, he was looking like one of Bruno Mars' backstage dancers.
Because I was looking at the video last week and I said, that is too funny. Because I think another brother is in here.
I had to send you the picture. He rocked it out.
We're going to have to post that under there, because everybody's probably wondering, like, so how did it work out? You know, because we kept talking about that, not having a suit.
He came through sharp. He came through so sharp. I was like, oh, okay, well, good morning.
So he's going to make it work.
We got there. He was like, I think I overdressed.
Well, he had to do what he had to do, because he said he really liked the jeans.
He wasn't.
He preferred the suit, so he had to make sure he overcompensated, made sure it worked.
Listen,
I tell you, he has so much fun. You know what? Maybe we could bring him on next week.
We could. Because
he had Boaz. He's a guy, so that was fun. We may have to start diversifying, and I know this is a mother-daughter book club. Maybe, I don't know, because it seems like
maybe we need to bring some fathers and sons.
Maybe we need to bring some fathers and sons on here.
Whatever God says, we follow.
Yeah, we have to. Listen, I am so thankful for you, and pardon me if I speak in error, but you have brought such a bold truth to this conversation that I know people are thinking, I have a daughter, I have a niece. Is it too late? Now, I don't know this. I feel like it may be, but I want to, okay, I'll leave it alone. So, is it too late for people to join?
I will say this. Let me see how I can word. Let me see how I can word this.
Okay.
If I look at it in my natural, I'm gonna say yes, it's too late. But if I look at it the way that God continues to show me, I'm sorry, I can't say no, because there are so many lives that are assigned to this ministry, because it's a mentorship, but it's truly a ministry that I believe that God is making ways for us to be able to handle the influx that is coming. There's such an influx. I think I told you last week, by the end of last week, I had 5 people. Look at them. We had capacity. They are so spoiled.
Cherie said we had capacity. She said, you're not about to take no more. I
want to say no, but I have to be very cautious of my words, because what God has entrusted into me, it's not my right. I don't have the right to say no. I literally don't have the right. Sister Jacqueline, please laugh at her, because these children are crazy. My children are so spoiled. Aww. I have no other way to say it, but they are rotten. Tonight we want to call. It was supposed to be 45 minutes. It was 2 hours.
I'm surprised they stayed on that long, because
when it comes to
church, they're like, when we getting off? You know,
I think it is because I'm a ball of energy, and they bring something to me that even if I didn't have the energy, when I get on that call with them, I'm bing, 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 bing. Like I have like this overjoy. I get into. So tonight we did an icebreaker. So they had to tell 2 lies and a truth, and we had to figure it out.
I love that game. I play that all the time.
Yeah, so we did that one. Next week, I think I'm gonna have them do Pictionary, because we're gonna do the whiteboard and do Pictionary. So just doing different things. But they are so open with me. They don't, my girls, and they had me laughing so bad tonight. They were telling the new girls, if you don't tell her, she's gonna find it out anyway, and she's gonna come. And they told me that if Sharice is on here, she said that I rebuked them so sweetly. She said her rebukes are so sweet. They just come out so kind.
You sound like Crystal. Crystal the same way.
And I said,
Crystal get you, you know, you be just.
But you know what? The truth is, I don't even realize that I'm rebuking them because I remember being rebuked as a child and it came off so harsh.
And it felt hard, and
it made me want to retreat. So I try to make sure that everything I do is in love. Even when talking to them about sisterhood, we are a sisterhood here. We're not just all mentees here. No, we are a sisterhood. These are your sisters. How you get rebuked and loved at the same time. That's what it was. I was like, okay, I knew it was something like that. But I love them so much, and I love what I see in them. And I wish sometimes that they could see it the way God shows it to me about each of them.
Yeah.
Like I wish I could just sit there and just say, hey, like I could pull out this like technology thing in front of them, like beep beep beep, here you go. But I you know, I watch me movies, right? Because I'm like, but I can't show them. Yeah, I wish I could, because I'm like, if you guys could only see, and even especially Sharice, and I know she's gonna get me for this. That one right there has caused me to get on my knees so much. But when I look at her now, I am so proud of the young woman that she is becoming. I'm so proud that even when I was hard on her, she listened to me. Even when I didn't agree with her, she listened to me. She's gonna really get me for this one. Sharice, I love you for this, but I'm gonna put you out there this one time. So she was on a call one day. I won't go into too many details, and I saw something arising in the screen, and I thought I was tripping, Nicole. I had to look again. I said, I know I'm not hallucinating. You know, I thought I was hallucinating. I thought it was something in the air. Yep. And anyway, I texted her. I said, I don't know where you are, but I know you're not on my screen. Blah, 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 blah. She was so down. She was so hurt. She was so frustrated because she was like, I'm so sorry, you know. But I said, I'm telling you because there are other girls in this group that look up to you.
Yes.
And if you don't want to taint their view, you got to show up and you got to be the example. And I'm just watching her, and now I'm watching the other girls, because I call her one of my big sisters of the program, pull on her. They're calling her. They're entrusting the wisdom in her because she has been poured into, and now she's able to pour into others.
I love
so now she's shifting. And I'm even challenging her. And I'm even challenging her to say, hey, you thinking about mentoring? Because there's something in you that you can give to somebody else. I don't care about what you've been through. I don't care about any of your mistakes. What I care about is that there's something so great in you that they trust your voice. And when people trust your voice, listen. If they trust your voice, you gotta listen. So I'm really, you know, big on that. And I'm big on growing them up so that they can be able to follow in the legacy of what God has given me to do. And if I'm not training them, if I'm not pulling it out of them, then my mentorship is in vain. It's in vain. Ooh. So I'm really about pouring into them, building them up, and helping them to build. I want to build leaders. I want to be able to open BHE across the globe. So I need, like Sharice is in North Carolina. I should have a chapter down there and know that I can trust her to lead it because she's been poured into. And so that's really what I'm about is, you know, I have these young girls who are amazing. And they could be doing so many other things, but to see them working in school and still checking on their little sisters of program, sending them texts. Some of the text messages I'm not included on, but I love it because they are sisters. Even from states, I have girls in North Carolina, South Carolina, Virginia, but they're checking on one another, making sure one another is good. It's amazing to me. It just blows my mind. And I'm like, God, all I want you to do is get the glory out of this program. No credit of my own. Nothing that I could ever do could equate to what you've given to me to handle. And do I always feel like I'm equipped to handle it? No.
No, of course not.
How many days do I quit in my head? Every day. I'm just going to be honest.
Yes, it ain't real unless you're mentally quitting, because that means you're really doing something.
I'm questioning God. Are you sure you want me to do this tomorrow too? Because God, I promise you, if you told me no, I will quit today.
And that just means how passionate you are and how much. And I think the thing that sometimes fuels us to feel that way, not because we really want to quit, but it's because we feel it's so heavy and we may not feel like either one qualified enough to do it or like there's not enough time in the day to do all of this stuff, you know? So, and sometimes it's just like, whoa, this takes a lot out of me, a lot, but you feel so good after it. You feel great when those who you care about whether they're older, younger, when you pour into them and you see the effect of it. And I'm still blown away that you said Sharice is now graduated to such a big sister. And yeah, we talking about you, Sharice, that others are looking up to her.
I'm so proud of her.
Wow, they know she's in the program, but they look up
two
to
other
her.
young ladies. Yeah, I have her and two other young ladies that I call my big sisters of the program, and they still are under their mentors. They still meet with their mentors throughout the week, but they're accountable. Even with them working and in school, they're accountable because they're older. I have 21-year-olds, a few 28-year-olds, a few 19-year-olds, but they're accountable. And I'm just watching them, and I'm like, God, wow, like it's so amazing to me. And do we butt heads? Oh yes, they would tell you, because I told my heartbeat, you're wrong. I might even hang up the phone on them. Sharice, matter of fact, and Shania have been hung up on quite a few times, and it's okay because I do it because I don't want them to settle. I'm not going to tolerate you settling. I'm not going to tolerate you allowing life to always. I'm just dealing with something. No, what you dealing with? Deal with it and get over it.
Yeah.
Like, let's deal with it, but don't allow it to literally hold you hostage that you can't function. We all go through life. If I could be your age just to live at home and not pay bills, I would do that. If you asked me to go back, that would be the one reason I would go back home, is just so I could not pay bills for a while.
Yes. For one what?
Listen, I love my freedom. I love my adulthood. But like I told him, even in my adulthood, I've had to learn some lessons. So it doesn't stop because you get older. You still have to learn, and you still have to be open-minded and be able to be in transparent state and vulnerability to be able to be mentored to and poured into. I grow and I am better because I have a mentor. I have learned so much from my mentor, and I give her so much honor and credit in the God in her that I'm just like, God, I don't know if I would even be where I am without her tutelage and her saying, hey, let me open up what I have and give it to you. I wouldn't have been able to do that. I just don't think I would be here today without it. And I'm so grateful to God for her. I'm so grateful to God for her selflessness and her humbleness to push others beyond, where she currently is. And my girls, they know they are my BHE beauties. They are beautiful. Every morning when I greet them, the morning BHE beauties, I want you to know that you are absolutely beautiful. I give them an affirmation every day. We post quotes, we post prayers, whatever it is that we need to encourage one another. But it's really important that we continue to build and grow. I just don't know what else to say. So again, back to the question at hand, I'm not going to say no. I'm going to say that if you have young ladies, young men that are in need of the program, my husband and I would love to welcome them and to introduce them to the program and to our team. Just send in a submission form.
Your phone went up just a little bit. It's like a little staticky.
Can you hear me clearly? I can hear it now, so I don't know what that was. Can you hear me?
Oh, does your voice sound clear on your end?
Now yours is staticky. I don't know what's going on.
Okay, yeah, I was gonna say because mine sounds staticky too. I hear you staticky, and I think you hear me staticky. Oh no.
I don't know.
I'm not sure what's going on. Can you guys hear us in the audience? Yeah, in the audience, but in the comments.
Oops. Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't know if you guys can hear us clearly or not.
Yeah, it's pretty staticky on my end too.
Well, we don't know, but
I hear myself sound staticky.
Yeah, when we hang up, we will post again the website in the comments if you can hear me. I'll also post, my email address if you have any further questions. I don't know if you guys can hear me okay.
Yeah, it's going out a little more. Yeah, Shania said you can hear, but it's staticky. Yeah, I hear the static too.
Okay. We can dismiss if we need to.
Okay. Yeah. She said it sounds like radio feedback. Yeah, it does. It does. That's so strange. That's never happened before. But you know what? God got the glory out of this conversation tonight. I think the static is gone. God got the. I think we lost her. Let's see. Let me switch over. I think we lost her for a second. So maybe it was some interference on her end. I'm not sure if she's going to jump back in or not. But I will say that God truly got the glory out of this call tonight as we talk about mentorship and as we talk about the effects of mentorship and how it benefits both the mentor and the mentee. I will post the website for everybody again so that you can reach out to Sister Maddie. She is, as you already know, amazing. And when I say she pours into her youth, she pours into them. And some of them on here can attest because they say, nope, they want to keep it all to themselves. So I just want to say thank you all for joining us, for reading through, catching up on all the readings, and staying right along with us. We are reading Ruth 4 for next week. And me and Maddie will come back in the chats and continue the dialogue and the conversation. Thank you for being so faithful for us every week. And I'll see if we can get Jared with us next week too, so that we can continue the conversation and finish out with Ruth 4. Thank you guys so much. And everyone who's won for trivia, I will send out your prizes, and I look forward to seeing you guys next week. See you soon.